October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I want to go over the power and control wheel. But one thing that I want to make is a correlation between domestic violence and narcissistic abuse. If you have ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, you are a survivor of domestic violence, and here's why. These are the tactics that they commonly use, and when I say they, I'm talking about narcissists or people with narcissistic tendencies, use to gain power and control over their targets. Generally, domestic violence relationships start off with love bombing. So there's a cycle that happens in domestic violence and domestic abuse, and there's also a cycle that happens in narcissistic abuse, and both of them mimic each other. But it always starts off with the love bombing with the narcissist, and it starts off with the honeymoon stage in domestic violence. After the honeymoon stage has worn off, we usually step into the emotional abuse. So that's when they start to put you down. They make you feel bad about yourself. They call you names. They make you think you're crazy, which is also considered gaslighting. They play mind games. They humiliate you, and they make you feel guilty about whatever you may feel or want out of the relationship. Now, keep in mind, they spoon feed you these tactics. So if they were to just come out the blue and just be a narcissist or be a domestic abuser, then you would run. You would run for the hills. But what they do is they give you little increments. So they spoon feed you little increments of this abuse until you wake up one day and you realize you're knee deep in it. Okay. So while they're using the emotional abuse, they usually start to try to isolate you from your support group. So that's controlling what you do, who you see, who you talk to, what you read, where you go, limiting your outside involvement, and using jealousy to justify their actions. So the jealousy could look like, constantly calling you and asking you where you're at. And then when you say something about it, then they say, oh, I'm just trying to make sure that you're safe. I'm just trying to protect you. They will also question your friends and your family or your relationship with these individuals and try to make you doubt their sincerity towards you. This is all a ploy to get you to rely heavily on them and their support and to distance you away from your support system so that when they do start to abuse you, you don't have anyone that you can call or go to, or you'll be too ashamed or embarrassed to even speak to them about it because you have distanced yourself from them. When you confront them with their actions, they begin to minimize, deny, and blame. And when the reason is to make you also question your sanity, to say, well, maybe it's not that big of a deal. So they'll make light of the abuse and not take your concerns seriously. They will even deny that it even happened, which is also gaslighting. They will shift the responsibility of the abusive behavior towards you and say that you caused it. And then they will also try to get you to react to them. So that can be the reactive abuses where they will do something to trigger you to make you do something abusive towards them so that they can point the finger and say that you're the crazy one. If you do have children with them, they will make you feel guilty about the children. They will use the children to relay messages during visitation. They will use the visitation in the court system to harass you. They will threaten to take the kids away. They will tell you that you're not a good mother. They will do all types of things except help you with the children, but they will use the children as a pawn. After the honeymoon stage, when they are done with, wooing you and being the knight in shining armor that you originally met, they will start to then treat you like the servant. They will stop doing all of those niceties towards you, and then they will start to expect you to do the heavy lifting in the relationship. So they'll treat you like a servant. They will make all the big decisions. They will act like the master of the castle, and they will be the one to define men's and women's roles when really in a domestic violence relationship and a narcissistic relationship, generally they don't want to do anything to contribute to the relationship, and they will make you, again, being the servant and doing everything by yourself. Now, economic abuse is synonymous with financial abuse. So if you are like in a relationship where you're living with the narcissist or abuser, or you are married to them, they will try to prevent you from keeping a job, which is further isolating you from support and having your own money to walk away. They will make you ask for money, which puts you in a parent-child dynamic, because when you're an adult, you should be able to take care of yourself and have your own finances. But abusers and narcissists alike would like you to not have your own finances so that they can have power and control over you. So they will not let you have access to the family income. So you would have to basically go to them for everything. And they will also make it where your name is not on the car, the house, or anything. So if you try to leave, or if they want to put you out and discard you, you have no rights or privileges to anything in the household. Lastly, they will use coercion and threats. They will use intimidation. Synonymously, they will Basically start with the intimidation, where they are physically threatening, where their body language, their eye contact, their tone of voice is something that will make you think that they're about to assault you. And that will put, some power and control over you, where it's like, okay, well, I don't want to make him so angry that he actually does physically assault me. So let me change how I'm behaving. So if that doesn't work, if they feel like the intimidation isn't working, then they will probably escalate to physical abuse. Again, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Please follow for more content.